So you guys know that I am in training right now. I just started a new job. I used to work at the gas station for 2.5 years, and now I'm going to be a bank teller at this small community bank that we have here in town. And right now I'm in training. So this past week I've been in a room kind of by myself, and there's this big mural on the wall. And on that mural, I never noticed until this morning that you can see all of these pencil lines and the outline of the actual mural through some of the parts of this piece. Like, you can see it through the paint. You can see it in parts where the artist never erased any of this stuff. And God always talks to me very like, here's the real world, and here's my message to you. Here's a real life thing, and here's my message to you. Like, he's always using this concept of like duality to help me understand. He knows me so well. Obviously, I'm his daughter, you know? And it made me think about like the relationship between myself and the Lord. The things that I perceive to be like all these imperfections, these like lines throughout this painting, you know, the actual pencil marks that I can still see even through the paint, I perceive them to be like bad. I perceive them to be like, oh, look at these imperfections that I see. Oh, they didn't finish the piece. But then when you step back from it, you actually see the full picture. Like, those lines were used to create and make this master artwork, this overall piece. And sometimes I think we get so caught up in these little imperfections that we don't realize that those things are used to create the general picture of who we are and what we do in our lives. Because everything is a testimony. Everything becomes the way in which, if you're a believer, you are able to show God's love, show the power of his transformation. And so I think of them and I'm like, psh, why didn't he erase it? That looks terrible. But then I see it through God's eyes and I'm like, no, those things were used. They were a tool to make the overall picture. And it's a really beautiful concept, because then I know my imperfections aren't really imperfections at all. They're just the things that God has used to develop the character within me. So if you are ever feeling like you have too much going on, you had too much going on in your past, or you are so embarrassed by things, because I fall into that category sometimes too. Now I can think of that mural and remember that he has created me, the woman that I am, the woman that I'm becoming, through those things. They've all been developmental tools. So I can't be ashamed of them anymore. And that is the enemy trying to tell us to be ashamed of those things, when in reality they're beautiful, because God at the end of the day is a creator. He is somebody who turns nothingness into something, these broken vessels, and makes them perfect. And it's just so beautiful that he reminds me of these things in just the little things throughout the day, because it reminds me that, like, I'm on his mind. You're on his mind. He's constantly thinking about us and our welfare. Regardless of we think so or not, he just never forsakes us. So just remember that. Please just remember that those things, those imperfections, are not meant to stop us from our purpose in Christ. They're there to develop us into the true purpose that Christ has for us.